next session is all about experiencing retail. Now the line is blurred and retail is no more divided between touch points, but united. So how Phygitally enhanced experience are refining and redefining right across the retail categories? Well, let's get this session underway and the conversation started. Please welcome to the stage, as we slightly modified the amount of chairs up here, Kartik Bhatt, the Chief Digital Officer from Sony, AJ Prakash, Head of Online and Product at Lenskart Middle East, Daria Pradevich, the Managing Director of Dubai's Theatre of Digital Art, Pamela Opie, the CEO and founder of Linen Obsession, Ekaterina Borodich, the CEO of Drink It Dubai, Karen Shah, the co-founder of Hyper Selection, Sunil Nair, the CTIO of Senami Retail, Udo Roche, the Managing Director of Filmental Tools, and to stir the conversation, a man who's already been on stage this morning, Akshay Jayaprakashan, the Associate Partner of Red Seer. Ladies and gentlemen, join us on the stage. And if you can, sit under your photograph as well. That would be wonderful if you could help that. Thank you very much, guys.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're having a great day today. A lot of interesting sessions already completed behind us, and I'm really looking forward to this discussion as well. Phygital, experiential retail, I think this is what everybody talks about, and we have an absolute power-packed panel over here. We're a bit short on time, so I'll just jump into the questions, and I would appreciate it if in the first question you can also give a short introduction for the audience. So my first question is to Pamela. So I think when you talk about experiential retail, personalization is critical, right, to drive sales and growth. So how are you providing personalized experiences to your consumers? Can you touch a bit upon that?
Okay. Thank you for being here. I'm really delighted to be in this panel. I'm Pamela Opie from Linen Obsession, and we are a physical retailer and online, specializing in bed linen, bath towels, the whole bedding category, and also home fragrances products as well. So for that question asking how do we offer the personalized experience, especially when we're talking about the our e-commerce site, I think we are probably a great example of a phygital business. In every aspect of our customer journey, we find people flipping. So they will often start online, but the customers that come in online normally go through what we call an assisted selling process. So our market segmentation is in the good, better, best, but we're probably best known for, upper quality. So people will come in, show interest in the product they want to buy online, but then they want to know more about it. So in the first instance, something very simple like just a pop-up with a WhatsApp, converting people, they can ask questions straight away there. And from there, quite often our staff, in terms of personalization, will find out what the customers want. And then they will send them a recommended list. You're looking for something like a blue floral duvet set. Let me send you my recommendations for you. And then that customer may finish the purchase online, in which case actually our team will send them the shopping cart already filled often, or send them the link, or we'll divert them to one of the retail stores. So we have shops inside Debenhams, Joshamal. We have our own retail stores as well. Quite often the customers want to touch and feel the product. So they'll come in online, they'll interact with our customer service, and then they'll end up actually going to stores is very common. And even in our standalone stores, we have a full shopping screen there as well. So even in each store, we can't show the whole range. So they again will shop online in the store, look at the whole wider product range, and then that might be completed online or we'll have it delivered to the store as well.
Very interesting, very interesting. My next question is to Ajay from Lenskart. I think Lenskart has been kind of a pioneer in the AR, VR game and online, and the whole phygital, the journey from online to offline and reverse. You've done it really well across the years. So my question to you is, what more? What's next in terms of the innovation and the phygital experiences that you plan to bring in to Lenskart?
Got it. Thank you for your question. First of all, just to introduce, my name is Ajay. I take care of product and technology for Lenskart. Lenskart is an eyewear organization wherein we've got our stores and online presence across multiple countries. We've got prescription eyeglasses, sunglasses. We've always kept technology at the forefront to solve customer problems, to try to cater their demands with the right way, right? When you talk about augmented experience, we already have virtual try-on and multiple functionalities. Just to give you a data set, right, we realized that 65% of the customers who end up buying at stores actually discover our products online. Now, that was a very great insight for us because we know that their first interaction with Lenskart happened online. So how do we make sure that we seamlessly integrate these experiences together? So one of the interesting things that we are very excited about is we are bringing a virtual trial room on our online platform. So what that trial room would do is it would replicate the entire store experience online. So what you can do is you can pick the right products. So the entire catalog becomes your wall, and you add those products to your wish list. So the moment those product enters the wish list, which is your trial room in this case, you can actually pick the ones that you want to try. The application will show how it looks good on you. And because not all of us shop alone, we also have community services over here where you can add your friends and invite them to join this entire experience and who can shop along with you. So this would completely give you a store-like experience while even shopping online. And to move ahead from there, let's say you've already finalized 3 products and you want to see which is the nearest store where I can try these products. So we also have unified inventory, which can show you the nearest store where you can go and try these products. And the moment you enter the store, the app will also navigate you where these products are kept. So that's a complete experience altogether. And to top on that, we're also bringing a cart, which basically is a physical wish list, where the moment you add products, even at stores, the same is getting reflected on your online experience. So the customer has complete freedom to choose products at any platform, buy them, and do their consideration and evaluation through the journey across any platform. So I think that's something we're very kicked about, and yeah.
Got it. I think that's a great example of a completely seamless experience across channels. My next question is to Karthik from Sony. Yes. So electronics is a category where there's a lot of online research and offline buying kind of behavior, right? So it's very important to bridge that journey from online to offline. So how are you doing that at Sony? How do you bridge that journey and help consumers come to your stores, electronics?
Good afternoon, Karthik Bhatt from Modern Electronics KSA, the oldest partner of Sony for almost 54 years now. We've seen this change coming in the electronics industry for almost last 14, 15 years, where the journey necessarily begins offline and then culminates into a transaction online. If I were to give you a use case, let's talk about PlayStation, which is one of the most successful product in the Sony arsenal. The transaction or the purchase is typically a 3.5 to 4 week into the experience journey that a customer goes through. And for that, our stores are equipped with experience zones. There are locations across the industry where people can experience how the PlayStation engages, and then they come and purchase it offline. They do a price comparison across vendors, then they buy wherever they need to buy. But more importantly, after the purchase is where the journey gets a little more intense for them, which is where, again, a combination of online and offline works. Necessarily, there's a buyer's remorse. You end up buying a PlayStation in the first case when you don't know, you would require a controller, you would require a mouse card, you would require a razor wheel, you would require a software around it, you would require a charger around it. So over a 7-year life cycle of a PlayStation, a consumer ends up buying 6 to 7 items along with the PlayStation console. This is made possible primarily through a combination of the online-offline elements. In case of regular consumer audio-video products, let's say like a PlayStation, television, or a personal audio, or an imaging, again, it's driven through the experiences in multiple demo zones. It culminates in the purchase offline, and it's driven, the repeat and the success of it is driven by the online-offline service initiatives, which is a key differentiator in the entire electronics industry, which is where Sony is able to drive a RFM of 1.6, 1.7 in some of its products, while the industry is still working around a 1.3, 1.4, which is what the ROPO drives a key differential in the business.
Very interesting. My next question is to Daria from Toda. So I think you've hosted a lot of these very interesting exhibitions and events, and it's a proper immersive experience that you're providing over there, right? So from your experience, what kind of content do you feel is resonating more with consumers?
Hi, thank you for the question. I'm Managing Director of Theatre of Digital Art, and probably it's the only customer experience that's not in a shop, but we are also offering technologically enhanced customer experiences, and we have started as a first digital art space in the UAE that showcased 360-degree art, classical art, and right now we have grown into an immersive hub that immersifies different kinds of experience. So we present immersive concerts, immersive wellness, immersive dining experience, and blend them with digital art. So everybody can find, I think, something that they would like at Toda, depending on your interest and on your mood. But the most favorite for now is our immersive concerts. We have a great lineup of classical, contemporary music, and also we offer lots of Arabic-themed experiences, which are almost always sold out. We have a great lineup for Arabic audience. For instance, soon we're launching immersive suhoor during Ramadan, which is going to be accompanied by Arabic music and Arabic-themed art. So we're inviting the greatest artists of the region to create artistic experience around this dining experience. So yeah, I would say everything is totally great.
Got it. And is there any specific consumer cohort for whom this experience resonates a lot more, or you see people from all demographics coming to your places?
I would say our main audience is people from probably around 30, from 25 to 35, who are interested in art, interested in new experience and in culture. But we also offer family experiences and children experience. So Toda program is really diverse.
Got it. My next question is to Kate. So your brand is known for curating products to consumers, right? And for that, you need to leverage data. You need to really understand data and be in sync with the data that you are using. So how do you leverage data? How do you capture this data, and how do you use it to provide more customized, personalized experiences to your consumers?
Hello, everyone. So basically, firstly, I want to tell you a few words about Drinkit. Drinkit is a digital-first coffee shop. So in our shops, you can order coffee online through the app or through the kiosks. And initially, you could say that people want to talk with barista and they want to have this personal touch. But what we can see in reality, it's not like that. People now are driven to do everything digital and online. For example, we recently opened our coffee shop at MR Square, and 95% orders made online. What could be done for it? What is behind the scene? So basically, firstly, you need to make this digital experience even much more convenient than this physical experience, to go to barista, to talk about what you want. My cappuccino on a coconut milk, please double shot espresso and make it hotter. So using our app, if you download it, you will see that the customization there is much easier. So you can do it in a few taps. You can pay with one slide. And also the presence of the drinks, you can see, if you will download the app, you will see the mouth-watering videos of the drinks, of each drink. And by the way, not Starbucks, not Costa, they don't have it. So firstly, you need to make the digital experience even much more easier, funnier, engaging than the real experience. And then you can get the data. Well, 95% orders made online, so we can track the customers really good and really understand their needs. We can start from the frequency, we can start from retention rate, so we can understand, are we on the right way in delivering the customer experience, or we're doing something wrong. So we can track these basic metrics. But what we can do for customers? So based on your previous orders, we can suggest the drinks for you. Let's be honest, when people coming to the coffee shop, they're not buying a cup of hot liquid. They're buying some experience, some their way get out from their routine. And we can suggest some nice, safe choice from our drinks for you based on your previous orders. It's very easy if you have some data about your customers. And if you can track 95% of your customers, you can get a lot of data about it. So firstly, really good suggested drinks. Also suggest some add-ons in a right way, not like get a sandwich. Sometimes it could be surprising because, for example, the hot chocolate could be really good with tuna sandwich. And our customers told about us with their purchases. So we can suggest for other customers to make this maybe strange but really good choice with a combination. And also the loyalty program, so we can suggest some gifts for them, again, based on their previous purchases. Also, we can give to our customers all the information about the nutrition, allergies, and etc. And we can see what they prefer, and again, customize our recommendation according to it. So to summarize everything, firstly, you need to care about that your digital experience even much more convenient than anything else. Then you can get the data. And of course, you can customize your app, even the pages, everything inside, to your customers.
Got it. I think the 95% number will just stick with everyone. 95% orders online is just crazy. So great job there. My next question is to Karan from Hype Selection. So we're talking about store experience here, and you're a great person to talk about experience in your stores, and that's what drives customers to your stores. So what are some of the recent innovations when it comes to store experience that have happened in your stores and customers have really appreciated them?
Hi everyone, my name is Karan and I come from Hype Selection. So Hype Selection is in the business of selling sneakers and streetwear to basically our customers. We sell hard to find, limited edition, and curated brands that you won't necessarily get locally in the market, and we basically make them accessible to our customers. Now, Hype Selection is sort of based on 3 brand pillars, if I would like to categorize it. The first one is feel the hype, because you are buying something that is limited, something that makes you feel good. Our second brand pillar is trust the authenticity. And then our third brand pillar is revel in the choices. And when we say revel in the choices, one of the things that we really strive to do is give as wide of a selection of products that our customers can choose from. Now, when it comes to trust the authenticity, that's where we saw an opportunity to perhaps translate that brand pillar into an in-store experience. Now, in the business that we are in and in our industry in general, there is a lot of question marks and there's a lot of trust issues when it comes to sort of shopping these kinds of high-value, high-ticket items, from retailers that perhaps people don't know about or from boutiques that they don't know about. Now, we're a 6-month-old young startup, so one of the things that we wanted to do was show our customers how authentication works and how do we basically enforce the authenticity that we claim. So we have actually partnered up with one of the leading authentication services. They're based in the US. They're used by major retailers across the world. They're also actually used by the government in the UAE to essentially authenticate products. Now, we brought this experience to life by bringing in a light box, so to say, which had about like 10 cameras or so. And in person, you can basically put in the shoe in that light box. It takes 10 pictures in a matter of 30 seconds, and then within a couple of minutes, it runs in through the algorithm and will give you a result whether the shoe is real or fake. So we would essentially tell our customers, bring the shoes that you have, try some of our products, and we'll basically be able to tell you whether it's a fake or a real shoe. Now, that is something that we cannot show online. We can claim it online, but that's how we brought it to life in person. And another thing is accessibility. So now most of these products, they're super high demanded. They get sold out within a couple of minutes. So there's always a bit of a disappointing feeling when somebody's not able to get their hands on it. So what we also actually strive to do is we can't maintain a full 100% inventory where somebody comes in and gets what they want. But that's essentially where the power of our sourcing network comes in. So actually in-house, we have built in a couple of sourcing strategies, and a couple of crawling technologies where if somebody comes into the store, asks for a product that we don't have or we don't have in their size, in real time, we're able to sort of identify what is the price that we can get it for, and we sort of guarantee to get it to them in the next 7 to 10 days. So that's how we use, again, technology and sort of bringing that to an in-store experience.
Very interesting points. Just have a quick follow-up. So this is also a space, I mean, looking at the consumers that you service also, the needs and the preferences are changing very rapidly, right? So how do you keep up with that speed of change and service them with the same level of quality on a live basis? Yeah. So when it comes to our target audience, it's mainly Gen Z. It's mainly the younger people that are looking for new things, and fashion trends change. So one of the things that we do is, look, we are a startup that's born and bred in the UAE, and we sort of also want to build a community and give back to that culture that we are sort of representing at our retail space. So we actively try and source to collaborate with a number of sort of local brands and give them an opportunity to sort of showcase some of their products that sort of fit within our ecosystem as well. Another thing that we do is, we have a couple of softwares that sort of run at the back end to analyze data that's coming in from our shoppers, from our customers, to essentially identify trends and patterns of what people want before they even ask for it. So for example, we have built something called a color API. So say, you analyze all the sales data that you have had for the past 6 months. We run it through the algorithm, and it would sort of spit out, what are some of the top 3 or 4 colors that people actually go for, because sneakers and clothing is almost like a visual thing. So using that sort of technology to sort of break up and identify that people are leaning more towards a particular color palette, then drives our decision making in sourcing products that sort of belong in that category. Correct. Very interesting. My next question is to Sunil. So we're in a world where there's too much of data right now. There are data warehouses, data lakes, and there's some research that goes around which says that only 10% of the data that you collect is actually useful, right? So how do you go about collecting the right kind of data which is actionable from a business standpoint?
Good afternoon, everyone. I think let me be very practical about this entire engagement. So what happens is, so I come from Sinomi Retail. We are one of the largest fashion retail company in Saudi. Predominantly, we play in brick and mortar, and we are trying to come into the online space. So phygital or omnichannel is a norm that these days people are looking in for, or other companies are looking for. What I see is, that there is a big difference of alignment between KPIs, what a physical retailer carries, as well as an online P&L carries. Let me put it this way, right? And I think that is where the entire transition is happening as we speak. So the most important for me is the change management that we are talking before even we enter into the data part of it, right? So today what is happening? Today we are talking about, a crisscross between the omni-channel or mono brands plus your physical stores, right? The customers need not be the same entity, right? You have a different set of customers, different parameters, different KPIs. So what is more important for us is not about the data part, but equally important is what is the key message that you're driving around? What is that first top things that you're talking about from a company's point of view? From a customer perspective, from an inventory perspective, from an experience perspective, right? This all matters. So basically, we have been always told, right? Garbage in is garbage out, right? That's the basic thing that we talk about. So today, what is happening is from 2 angles, right? From a technology perspective, also we are learning as we speak. So as you said correctly, we are capturing a lot of data. And not only in terms of the customer side of it, but also from the back-end perspective of it. So when I say back-end, it's more of the pricing model, it's more about the product side of it, it's more of the color side of it. So a lot of things are going on that side. On the customer side of it, from whatever KPIs that you carry from an online perspective, it's more of, your conversion rates, your, walk-ins and all the stuff. Yeah, we tend to push it across to the business. Does it necessarily convert into a decision-making data? Not today. That's the reason I'm saying it's a 2-way learning curve for technology companies who support, or other technology divisions who support retail, and for the people who are understanding this data and trying to take action, right? So I agree with you, it may be 10% depending on different types of industries, different types of domains that you play, and the maturity of the audience, that determines whether it's 10%, 20% or 50%, right? So that's the equation. From my perspective, since I am a technology guy, probably what we end up doing is creating this data warehouse, data lake, where we tend to get that, we capture all the KPIs from different things. So we need not be just the customer interaction at this floor, right? It could be, as I said earlier, it could be inventory, it could be sales, it could be my product data, and plus a combination of customer, right? So we give that part. Just to summarize, I think where this doesn't click is the change management piece that I think, it's very important for this kind of market. It's evolving as we speak. That's second point that I think it's very important. And the customer dynamics are changing. So, right, the goalposts are changing as we speak, right? Every season on season, there is a different expectation from retailers in terms of what their total offerings should be, yeah? So I think tentatively, if I may just come out around this question, I think, is it 10%, 20%, 30%? I think these are just numbers as we speak. It depends on the maturity of the company to read this data and take action on it.
Very interesting. And I think the change management aspect that you highlighted is quite important for a traditional company that's going into digital.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that. The next question is to Udo. And it's a very interesting question also, because profitability is something that has become the norm right now. I mean, the discussion has moved from growth multiples to burn multiples in the investment community. So in that context, where do you see the highest amount of efficiencies that have been gained right now within the overall e-commerce cycle?
Yes, thanks. My name is Udo Rauch from Fulfillment Tools. And we work with retailers and brands to help them optimize on the fulfillment part. So as you said, I think during the pandemic, everybody tried to increase revenue channels, open up new e-commerce channels, because brick and mortar stores were almost closed in the world. And nowadays, profitability comes back into place. And there is a big portion of money that is spent in bringing products to the customers, right? And there are two aspects where we try to use technology to enhance the KPIs. One is enhance the user experience in the e-commerce shop by enhancing the ATP, which is available to promise. What delivery options can I promise to customers? Because that makes a big portion of the loyalty of my consumers. So can I split the order? Can I wait longer, pay less? Can I order products that are not even built yet, but I can advise that they will arrive in a few days? So these are options that customers expect nowadays. And the second thing is how to deliver those products that a customer bought. I mean, you can have one warehouse which is far away, but what if you could use your network, your physical stores, your third-party logistic providers? If you have a huge SKU number, it makes sense to use the whole network to see what is the best option, the most cost-effective option to deliver products, and also adhere to what customers wish. Yeah.
Great, very interesting. And since we are in this topic of delivery and speed, optimization, etc., so quick commerce is a term that really picked up in a big way over the last couple of years, and a lot of people feel that quick commerce, in a sense, is not sustainable from the logistics implications of it from a cost standpoint. So how do you, keep up with this demand of quick commerce while keeping a tab on the costs also in it?
I think quick commerce has a big problem. If you talk about groceries and you order within 60 minutes, you need to know exactly what your stock inventory is. And this changes all the time. So you need to be on time with your data, and that's complicated. And then you have this replacement product and substitutes and so on. So it's about data, as the speakers before said. It's all about knowing exactly and investing in technology to know what is your stock data. And then everything else gets easy.
Yeah, I think data is the answer to a lot of things. And if you can utilize data well, then a lot of the problems are solved. The timer is ticking, but I think we have time for a couple of more questions. So my next question is to Pamela again. Since we're in this topic of phygital, how do you integrate your physical stores with your online presence? And can you touch upon the role of technology and also the service, the staff within the store in this whole construct.
Regarding the role of technology, we are currently putting an AI technology into our website so we can more intelligently answer customers' questions, because on Linen people are asking quite specific questions, but also people often want to search our website in a way that needs to be more sophisticated and finds, a multiple parameters, in one search. So we're really looking forward to that. The key for us to integrate phygital and or the physical and the e-commerce is to have the customer service team to support it. So we have 7 days a week customer service from 9 a.m. till midnight, because otherwise, it doesn't work. To be honest, you've got to have that service level to support it.
Yeah, it's very important to equip the customer service team also with the right data or technology to be able to service the customers. So I think we have time for another question, and my next question is to Ajay. For somebody who's getting onto the journey of phygital or omnichannel, what would be your recommendations from your experience at Lenskart?
Got it. I think one of the primary things about this entire phygital experience, and I'm going to say something that we internally talk a lot within Lenskart ecosystem, is that data actually is the true omni experience, right? It's about how you capture customers' interaction with your product and what kind of learnings you bring out of that. So what we try to do in most of the scenarios is try to understand, let's say, find out what are the key problems that our customers are facing. What are the key things that will improve their experience with our product, with our services. And we use the underlying data to take the right kind of decision, right? And I think omnichannel is nothing but giving seamless integration of both. You copy that experience, capture that data points, make an inference out of it, and then translate into an experience. So I think the starting point here would just be to have those interactions with you and make insightful information around it.
Got it. Very interesting. I'll just sneak in one more question, if that's okay, to Karthik. So any challenges that you've seen with the whole phygital journey that you'd like to talk about?
See, more often than not, most of these phygital journeys are built, and when I wear the P&L hat, I build phygital journeys primarily from a revenue, from a cost, from a margin, from a profitability point of view. And when I try and replicate a physical journey on a phygital journey, I end up convoluting the entire customer experience. Ideally, it has to be built customer first in the as a journey, driving in an efficient route for a customer to engage, interact, purchase, and resonate my product in the ecosystem. So if I were to have the liberty, I would do a typical convergence 2.0, which is the product, the service, which is the engagement, and the community part of it, all of it right, layered around technology. Now, that is an oxymoron primarily because of the financials around it, Q-commerce primarily being one of it. People want a television to be delivered home in 4 hours before the next soccer match begins. Is it viable? Do I have an installation guy who I can send in 4 hours to make sure the TV is installed? The question to some of these is, when the consumer and the market matures to start paying a premium for some of these things, it becomes viable. But till that time, we need to try and see what is the right cusp between the viability and the experience, and that continues to be a challenge as we move forward.
Very interesting, and the comparing and contrasting between viability and experience is a critical challenge that all leaders, I think, face right now. So thank you very much, all the panelists. Very interesting points shared. I hope all of you found the session interesting as well. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.